Welcome everybody to another wonderful edition of the Signatures and Finishers podcast. I'm your host, Steve Swell. Why I'm doing this? Because I think I'm God. No, actually, I was just working on my acting skills. I might make a career altering move here. I might just start getting to some acting because I've been seeing everybody just want to be an actor. They're getting paid, they can't act, so I might as well get into act too. You know what I'm saying?
I
I
think you're
might
so
as well
bitter that
make my
somebody wants
presence.
you to be the moderator of the show, and you're just looking for a way out.
First of all, doing the show is what I love to do. I would never give that up. Secondly, when I mean acting, I mean I need something to replace the day-to-day job.
That's
The
fair.
day-to-day job. And don't get me wrong, this what we doing right here is eventually gonna pay the day-to-day job. It's gonna pay all the bills. But when that happens, I'm gonna need something else to bring in the secondary income here. And I think I make a good actor. Like for a prime example, Miami Vice 85 is coming out next year, August 6, 2027.
Yes,
I'm a
yes,
huge
it is.
Miami Vice fan. Now I don't. I know I'm not playing Tubbs. Look at me. Do I look like a Tubbs? No.
Tubby.
Hmm?
Nothing.
Hmm? Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it.
Said Tubby.
There you go. Tubby. Yeah. Now they had a fat guy in there who was a dope man or a bad guy. Yeah, I'm your guy. But what I'm saying is, if the producers of the show and the director of the show is watching this show or get a clip of this show, I could be Leon. I could be that guy. I could be the middle guy. You know what I'm saying? The episode where my man get arrested. He goes to court. The lights went out. The air conditioner is hot. No AC. The lights go out. When they come out, everybody got a gun pointing down to make sure he stay in court. I could be that guy. I could be that guy who's so scared because the boss man might come get him that I would actually would have to be a rat to save my life. I can be that guy. But here's the kicker though. I die. I die. I take a book. Look, I just want to be in the movie. That's what I'm trying to say. I want to be in the movie. I don't want to be the very first scene where I was the former partner and I get blown up by next to a car. I don't want to be Eddie. That can't be me. I need to be in the movie throughout the movie. I don't need a cameo appearance. I need to be out through the movie.
Just
I'm
want to
just saying.
say
They
the
need
Miami
guys like
Vice
me.
movie with Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell was actually really good. If you would have just changed the name and called it something different, it would have done way better.
I didn't like it.
It was a good movie. You didn't like it because you were expecting it to be Miami Vice. It was not Miami Vice. They used the Miami Vice name just to sell tickets. If they would have named it anything else, it would have done way better
I
than
thought
what
I
it
didn't
did.
like it because it was like any other movie I seen. Any
That
other,
was the stereotype movie for the time. It
yeah,
was exactly what it was meant to be.
yeah. See, if it was a Miami Vice movie, then they would have known that Miami Vice was a culture creator. All right, it brought the style to Miami. They made the the bad guys legendary in their movie. They brought the color. They brought the style. They made being a cop look cool. Hey, I want to be an undercover vice cop. If
Well,
I
there
could
was no
live on a
folded
boat.
sleeves. That was the problem with the movie.
Hmm?
There was no folded up sleeves. That was the problem with the movie.
Hey man, look. How many cops you know, even though it's fiction, it ain't real. But how many cops you know drives around in a Ferrari as your police car?
I mean, Bad Boys. But that's a
Your
Porsche.
boy.
Never mind. Close enough.
Okay. How many guys you know get to wear the all white suit, be undercover with different names? I mean, look, Miami Vice was that deal. I need to be in it. I
As you
need
could
to
tell,
be in
he
it.
is very passionate about his Miami Vice. I've
Heck yeah.
heard this many
And
times.
I'm passionate about New York undercover. I'm pat. Well,
Oh,
we don't get
jeez.
done about passion stuff.
New York undercover.
What I'm saying is, my agent Jamie here is gonna send this videotape to the director. I forgot his name. He gonna send this video to Michael B. Jordan and tell him to have my client in this movie. And Jamie get a good 10% from my 10%. That's more than
10%.
most agents get.
10%.
Hey,
If I have to
get
pull
3.
that off, it's got to be like 17.
Let's round it up, even 20.
Okay, I'll take it.
Even 20. We both get money out of this.
That works.
Even 20.
Even
I'm
20.
saying this is my campaign to be in the movie.
All right, I'll campaign for you to be in the movie. You got to get back to campaigning for me to like take over WWE because it's trash.
Well, that's a good segue to that.
Watching SmackDown last night, it's like they just have no clue what they're doing. Like, just absolutely no clue what they're doing.
Well, here's the problem. It's not just SmackDown in general. It's the overall concept of both shows. We gotta include Raw because it's, you know how certain things just get stale and you don't refresh in it and you don't try to add new elements to it.
You mean Cody Rhodes being champion? Yes. You mean Cody Rhodes being champion? Yes.
I mean, it just ain't Cody Rhodes being champion.
It's just one example.
Yeah,
and then you think that you're going to make it spicier by adding the world's most boring wrestler, Sami Zayn, into it.
Yeah. So, prime example here. We seen the Gunther segment with Cody Rhodes. I don't know if it's me, but that was the first time I seen Gunther that passionate, that pissed off about losing to Cody Rhodes. Even your storyline, losing to how he lost. And he wanted a rematch. And somewhere in between him getting another one-on-one match with Cody Rhodes, Triple H and his creative team say, you know what? We'll just slide Sami Zayn up in here.
Well, that makes it new if you add Sami Zayn. Now they can say that they're not just rehashing storylines over again. Now Sami Zayn's involved, so it's something new.
What's new? You know what happened? Gunther attacked Cody. Damn near choke him out. Sami Zayn has sit there debating on should I do the right thing to help him or should I do the right thing by me not getting involved. He decided to get involved. First off, I understand what they're doing with Sami because they got to get in the main event picture because eventually he's going to be the champion. But this is not the way you go about doing it. By him getting involved with Cody and Gunther, it doesn't make sense for that matter. Because what's the beef he has with Gunther?
Since they're forcing it right now, I would just have him win the three-way match, let him have the summer run like Kofi got a few years ago, and then get it off. And then that way, just like Jey Uso, it's done, it's happened, get it out the way, we never talk about it again. Since they're forcing it down your throat so much right now to force Sami into this thing, just have him win the three-way match. He can pin Cody, so that way he looks tough, that he won the title. Gunther, no harm, no foul. He can beat Sami for the title. The world goes back to normal.
Now, I'm asking something because you can articulate this better than I can. We seen Sami Zayn fought Trick Williams for the United States title, and he lost the title to Trick Williams. We see him fought Trick Williams again at Backlash, and he lost again. Why is Sami being rewarded as a two-time loser to now be bumped up to get involved in the Cody and Gunther storyline? Now,
this is what WWE always does, especially with their call-ups. I mean, the fact that they didn't have Oba lose before bringing him up, you'd already brought him up and then he went back down and then just like relinquished the title. But they always have their people lose. And again, because there's no ramifications, there's nothing to take and track stats. There's nothing of, oh, Sammy's 0 for 10 in his last 10 matches. Or there's no consequence for losing in WWE. Because for them, it's just a storyline. They'll just turn around and insert you anywhere they want. And that for the company wanting to be as real as they want to try and push it to be with showing you WWE Unreal and all this other stuff, Gunther coming out 5 days after losing, 6 days, whatever it is, and acting like he's that mad basically says that Gunther hasn't lived in the last 5 days. Like from immediately losing, he's come out now and trashed the desk. Like you have to suspend all of that belief of that this guy's a human being and that he went from losing to being that mad that he's flipping over desks and all this other stuff. And that's where WWE has to figure themselves out. Either you want to be realistic with the show, or you want to go back to being the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s where there was no internet outing everything that you were doing and you were telling stories. And they don't seem to figure that out or have any intent of trying to figure that out. Um, but as far as Sammy again, they probably have something in a contract with him that they have to give him the world title. Because putting him into this storyline, unless they're just with the same logic I have of, look, we got to do it just to kick it off the list. Let's just put him in now. He can win a triple threat match. He can pin Cody because it's not going to hurt Cody at all. Gunther can be outside the ring, whatever. We can do whatever so that Gunther still looks good. And then Gunther can beat Cody or beat Sammy in a one-on-one match, give the title to Gunther. Everybody wins.
Right. So it's just confusing to me because he came out and said he wants justice for his loss.
Well, yeah, cool. And this is his justice. Now he's in the main event. So, right. But at the same time, there's no consequences in WWE.
It is not, because think about it. When Cody came out, he acted like just like any other, I don't want to say face, but he acted like a guy, you know, hey, look, I won, I beat you, I'm gonna sign some autographs, I'm gonna shake some hands, kiss some babies, you know, I'm enjoying myself, I get called out. Of course, because it's Cody Rhodes' nature. Yes, I'm gonna get you a rematch. I'm gonna give you a rematch. I just don't understand how Sami Zayn could come down and say they both did him wrong. And then I can't understand how you have no clear direction for Sami Zayn. You don't know if you try to make him a face. His character, as far as his character is, by the sounds of the audience, he's a heel, but he's not acting like a heel.
Well, it's the same thing they're doing with Cody. It's the exact same thing. It's the one thing I've complained about on the show multiple times. They have all these guys that they want to have on a tightrope of, oh, well, they get cheered by the fans, but we want them to act like a heel in the ring, but then we're going to have them do face things. They've done it with Seth Rollins for years, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Like, you can keep going.
Yeah.
And as far as having no direction, that's just par for the course with WWE. Liv Morgan, no direction. Dominic Mysterio, no direction. Sami Zayn, no direction. Like, you can keep naming off people that there's no plan. Clearly, the Judgment Day is going to break up. It's most likely going to be Raquel versus Liv Morgan. You have Michael Cole come out at the beginning of SmackDown, or not at the beginning of SmackDown, but when the Queen of the Ring stuff was starting yesterday, and say, oh, if Liv Morgan wins, she doesn't get a shot at Rhea Ripley. She just doesn't have to defend the title. So you put her in the tournament to spread out more time where she has no storyline. And then you come out and admit that, hey, we put her in here just to kill some more time for her. She's going to be upwards of closer to 100 days before she's anything to do with the title. And it's going to most likely be against Raquel. And it'll either turn into a three-way match versus Raquel and Roxanne if Roxanne decides that she's jealous that Raquel won, or it'll just be a Roxanne versus Liv match, and that'll break up the Judgment Day. Done.
It's kind of ironic.
Something that should have been done a long time ago.
It's ironic that this whole thing really was about Roxanne turning on Liv and going face and joining Finn Balor. But they moved Finn Balor to SmackDown. My, oh my, our plans have changed.
Well, they have no direction at that company. They have an idea, and then they're just like, oh, hey, I saw a squirrel run across the street, so let's do this instead. Like, they have no long-term thoughts about anything. They just react to things and do things. Why would you move Finn Balor to SmackDown? It does open up some new people for him to wrestle. It does add a new person on the roster for other talent to wrestle. But at the same time, he's much more geared towards Raw.
I'm guessing this maybe because Cody needs more opponents to wrestle. But
that's what I'm saying is it adds more credibility onto the SmackDown roster, but he doesn't do a character that's SmackDown type of audience per se, or the network that it's on.
Yeah. I think, to me, all this really does is absolutely nothing. It doesn't. You can add anybody to that roster on SmackDown. and SmackDown has a good roster. It has a very good roster. You just added Chad Gable. We seen Ray Phoenix back involved, but now he has the Triple A Cruiserweight title and not the United States title. It doesn't really matter who you add onto that roster on SmackDown. If the writing sucks, it sucks. You can't overcome that. You can add, I mean, I say this, and I mean no disrespect. Your main men and women's champions are on SmackDown. The main titles of the company is on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
And you're giving them peanuts, M&Ms, and mothballs to work with. You making those champions look way worse if you compare to on Raw. And don't get me wrong, the Raw champions ain't had they been story-wise ain't being told right either. But at least you make them look a little better than the ones on SmackDown. And SmackDown got the main titles. So you're elevating the B titles and devaluing the A titles.
I'm sure if you asked enough WWE fans right now who the women's champion was on Raw, most people would probably draw a blank for a couple seconds.
I think they'll draw a blank a couple seconds on Liv Morgan.
That's what I'm saying.
They'll draw a blank when the last time she defended a title.
No, I'm saying that they would probably draw a blank because they don't talk about the women's title because she hasn't done anything with it. Most people would probably have to sit there and think and say, "Oh yeah, it's Liv Morgan."
Yeah, and on SmackDown, they'd be like, "Hey, who is Rhea Ripley's number one contender for a title?" That might go about 10 minutes.
Well, Rhea might get the same Liv Morgan treatment because apparently she's hurt. So we might get a whole her having the belt for a long time and not doing anything with it and just letting Charlotte Flair and Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton wrestle it out.
Man, whatever happened to when the champion's hurt, they got to relinquish the title? You just keep it.
It's WWE. Everything's subjective. They change the rules. Notice how many people lose titles and never get rematches now?
Yeah.
That was always like a mandatory thing. You had a mandatory rematch. It might be on a Raw, it might be on a SmackDown. It might go to the next pay-per-view. But you always had a rematch.
Yeah. Look at Seth Rollins. He got to be in the King of the Ring tournament to win that to get his rematch.
Mm-hmm.
It don't make sense.
That's the biggest problem with WWE. I mean, creative is their biggest problem, but consistency in their storytelling is their second biggest problem. They just make up rules as they go. There's no consistency to what they do. And that's one thing I do respect about AEW. They have time clocks, as we've talked about. They have win-loss records. So you're not going to see somebody that's lost their last 6 matches in a title match. Like, it just doesn't happen.
They have this thing called the championship eliminator.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you win, you get a future shot down the road. If you lose, you go to the back of the line. It's cut and dry. That's it. You know, another thing I noticed about WWE. Gosh, I hate saying this because it goes against everything I stand for. They are trying to rewrite their own history book.
Yeah. They've been working on that since Vince got out of the company.
I mean, for example, I seen it was a video where Nick Khan said that WrestleMania 40, The Rock, Roman versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. He came out and said that was planned. That there was no hiccup. It was planned. This is the direction they wanted to go in. I'm like, are you serious?
They said that almost immediately after WrestleMania. It's just like I've made fun of it on the show before. Oh, the documentary, the behind the scenes of WrestleMania is going to be out this following Wednesday. It took them 3 months to put that out because they had to go through and edit everything to make it look like it was planned from the whole time. Like, come on.
Look, me and Jane with the Specs Howard, we know what videos look edit. It would make sense. Any common person would know, man, look, that was not planned. You know like I know. Number one, they didn't want The Rock involved. Number two, they knew that by him getting involved, he was going to mess up their main event. And number three, he's not really liking the back by Triple H. But yet,
The only people that want to see The Rock wrestle are a bunch of people out in the desert in Saudi Arabia. That's it. And that's only because they're still watching wrestling from 2001.
technically, Jamie,
Okay, 2007.
technically, he does have fans in the United States. He still got that loyal fan base where they want to see him wrestle still. Even at the age of 55, I don't know why. And I'm a fan. And I'm telling you, I don't want to see him wrestle. He might tore a pec. He might tore a thigh muscle. Look, if you're not an active wrestler, you don't need to be wrestling. You don't need to be trained to get in the ring. If you haven't been active, let's say for about 2-3 years, and this nah. See, the one thing he said right that I do agree with The Rock, that when he came back and when he said, I don't have to be in the ring to make a difference. So my thing is, if they still trying to push this Roman versus The Rock situation, The Rock doesn't have to be in the ring to wrestle.
I know.
He has somebody to do that for him. And
But
I'm all for
WWE
that.
has already shown that they have no balls to stand up for their own product when it comes to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Well,
And if the princes say that they want The Rock in the ring, yeah, The Rock might say you got to pay me a couple million, but you're going to see The Rock in the ring. It's going to look terrible.
That's just going
to be what it is.
Well, the Prince, if y'all don't know, the Prince months ago, we talking around the time where they officially announced that Saudi Arabia was getting WrestleMania. He already offered The Rock the house, the gate, the kingdom. And we're going on 7 months, and The Rock still hasn't responded to that yet.
You're going to see WWE take a massive hit.
If he doesn't.
No, just for going to Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania. It's still quiet now because it's still so far away. But especially with Tony Khan already coming out and saying, I'm putting on something big here in the States.
He knows.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this about the Saudi Arabia. I want to move on to something different. I don't have a problem with it. This is why. I heard Dave Chappelle was getting criticized. I seen his interview. He was getting criticized by everybody for taking the Saudi money and doing a stand-up show over there. And he made a good point. He said, why are you guys coming at me and where the Saudis are doing the movies, other sporting events? You see a lot of important people taking their money. You see a lot of government officials taking their money. You see Hollywood taking their money. So why are you coming at me if I'm taking this money?
Chappelle's also being sensitive because there's a lot of people that have taken a lot of crap. Live Golf. All those guys took a ton of crap.
Right.
And the Saudis have gotten a little bit smarter about how they invest their money with all the shell companies that they use because people do actively try to not get involved with them.
Right.
WWE just has no shame. And like I said, it's basically leave the cash on the counter, do what you got to do.
Right. But it is a good point, though. He does have a good point there where people before him and people after him are taking their money.
Yeah. Well, and for those people, you can't criticize them. But if you're somebody that doesn't take Saudi money, you can criticize them all day long, especially if you're a woman.
But see, what he's saying is, if you're going to criticize, you got to criticize everybody. So if we're going to criticize Nick Khan,
I think a lot of the people that are criticizing him probably do criticize everybody.
Right. So my whole thing is, I don't blame any of them for taking their money, but don't come out as you're better than anyone, knowing that you took their money.
Well, yeah, you saw how CM Punk had to shut up.
And now you're getting the backlash. So don't stand up with your chest high like, You ain't doing anything wrong. Well, morally, you kind of did something wrong. You took their money knowing their history.
I mean, I'm against all things Saudi Arabia. I just put that out there. I think it's people probably pick up on that anytime we talk about the Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia stuff. But I also don't take Saudi Arabian money. I never would.
Right. But like I was saying,
But CM Punk's one of those ones. He got called out for it because he
mm-hmm.
criticized them and then went to WWE, went out there, took their money. So
yeah. And he owned it. He owned it.
Yeah, he did.
So again, if you're gonna take their money, take their money. That's fine. I'm not going to judge you on that. But don't come out here and have beaten on your chest like you King Kong and knowing that you're going to get some backlash.
From the wrestling perspective, the problem I have with it is that WWE gives them basically the right to call whatever matches they want.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, the Undertaker's worst matches of his entire career all happened in Saudi Arabia when he was way past his prime and should have stayed done. The tag matches with Kane and DX, the match with Goldberg, like all those are absolutely probably for top tier professional wrestling, some of the worst professional wrestling matches you would ever see.
100%.
And the Saudis love bringing their old Attitude Wrestling era guys out. None of those guys are under 50 years old at this point. Besides the Hardy Boys that are still pretty active, most of those guys haven't stepped in a ring in years.
Yeah. Yeah. So just to finish this up, everybody, those people who took Saudi money, one about morals. It was about the bank account.
100%.
WWE is telling everybody to their face. This ain't about wrestling. It's about their bank account. And remember, this didn't start with Nick Khan. This started with Vince McMahon. So remember that. And speaking of The Undertaker,
I got but Nick was the president. Nick's the one that opened up all that stuff.
Yes,
Vince pushed on it, but Nick's the one that opened it up because it didn't start till he got the job.
Yes. And one other thing, I got a bone pick with The Undertaker. Undertaker did a hell of a job down in Triple A. But I got one bone pick with him. How is it Dom Mysterio still the Triple A World Heavyweight Champion? And I've been watching, and I don't think he defended that title, 2 or 3 times since he's been back from his injury?
I know overall he's one of the least active wrestlers in the company. That's not injured.
Yeah, right. He's been champion since September of 2025.
Yeah. I actually thought it was longer than that, but so, okay.
Yeah. So what we doing here? What we doing here, Mark? What we doing? Are you following the same footsteps of Vince McMahon and Triple H by not having Don defend the title? He got to come off that title. I mean, Triple A has a nice long history of their champions, and Don Mysterio, he's not cutting it.
It's one of those things. If he's going to have a Triple A title, he needs to be down in Triple A.
Yeah.
If you want to bring the title up and as a one-off to draw more attention to get people to watch Triple A, so be it. But if he's got the title, he needs to be down in Triple A, wrestling on a routine basis down there.
Now that is SmackDown.
Dominic, when it comes to luchador wrestling, is bottom wrong. He barely qualifies. If it wasn't for his dad, you wouldn't even call him a luchador. So it's not like we're getting to see something special with him on Raw. Send him down to AAA, leave him there, give us Rey Fenix back.
I mean, you put him on AAA, you're not seeing nothing special. Look, Dom has vastly improved from the time he started to his right now. But at the same time, can you sit here and say Dom Mysterio is the future world champion?
I mean, he will be because of the microphone charisma he has. They'll do it at some point. It might take 10 years, but they will do it at some point. My biggest thing is that there's nothing about him that says he's a professional wrestler. Like, you look at him and you're like, just take a shower, cut your hair, shave off the stupid mustache, and go work at 7-Eleven.
I like the mustache.
He doesn't look like he wrestles. He doesn't, like, his moveset doesn't show that he specializes in anything. Like, he's super generic. but his personality works. And the mustache thing, he does for the character. I've heard him do interviews about it. He's already got a new character picked out, new outfit already set up, ready to go. WWE just won't let him change.
That's why I'm always big on character development, but I'm also big on wrestlers controlling their character development, not the company.
We've talked about it on this show. If you want to control your character, you need to build your character outside of WWE. I watched a quick thing with LA Knight and Chris Van Vliet this morning of how when they brought him in to be Eli Drake, to stay as Eli Drake from TNA. Mm-hmm. And 3 days before he's supposed to debut, they're like, hey, we're going to call you LA Donovan. And then he had to fight with them over Donovan and Knight to get them to stick with Knight. But why they do that? Because they wanted to take credit and the trademark and everything for LA Knight. They don't want you to have any of your own stuff. That's why Triple H, you do a documentary for Bray Wyatt, and then you go out there and say he's super difficult to work with. No, why didn't you rephrase it and say the dude knew what he wanted. He wanted to protect his character. La 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 la. But no, Triple H goes out there and says, oh, he was extremely difficult to work with. On his own documentary that you did posthumously. I can't even say that word right now. I fucking hate Triple H.
I know you do. I know
the dude's such a scumbag.
I know. Hey, look, don't worry. We're going to start a fundraiser. We're going to buy the WWE. Don't worry about it. We're going to start a fundraiser. We're going to buy the company.
You know what I would do? I would go back just like when Vince bought WCW and they did the whole scripted thing to have him show up on WCW. I would fire Triple H in front of everybody. I would just walk out there and actually fire him in front of everybody on TV. I would do it at WrestleMania so I had the most eyes on it as possible. I would take him off of all duties. He would still work for the company. Hey, you're going to sit at home. I got something for you at WrestleMania. I would bring him out just to fire him in front of everybody, as many eyes as I possibly could.
I was going to get off from a severance package. Go out of your business.
You've had years of screwing other people's careers up, so you've made some money with that. Have fun.
Damn. He said he's going to fire him out the gate.
Oh, yeah, no question. Nick Khan would be gone. The first person I would fire, honestly, Mark Shapiro. Mark Shapiro would be like, the second I have control of the company, you're getting a phone call, you're done.
Who's the second?
Nick Khan. Triple H wouldn't even be the first person I fired. He would know what's coming. But yeah, Mark Shapiro would be an instant phone call, you're done.
Bruce Pritchard.
I mean, Bruce Pritchard would probably be 4th, 5th, 6th, maybe 10th on the list, but he'd definitely get it.
No, that'd be my first.
No, my first would be Mark Shapiro, Nick Khan 2nd, Triple H 3rd, and then Michael Hayes would be 4th. Bruce Pritchard, he would definitely be in the top 10 somewhere, but probably closer to 10.
Pritchard and Hayes would be my first two. Everybody else, since they like to be flamboyant and charisma and want to be out there, we're going to do it publicly. But since you talking about you do it at WrestleMania, you took it to a whole nother level. I was just saying at a press conference, hey, cut the head up.
It would probably be the biggest pop WrestleMania's ever had if I fired him.
Oh, wow.
And you're talking like the Triple H return from the double quad injury, Stone Cold coming back, like all those like biggest pops of all time. This would probably top that.
Yeah. And the company won't be public no more. So that's not.
Oh, 100%. No.
We ain't going public.
Absolutely not.
During that SmackDown, I don't know how this became a big segment, but it's Danhausen. But seeing the Miz get electrocuted and they made this to a nice big segment, it just goes to show.
Wind up in AEW. I'm telling you right now.
It goes to show you that how this company views not only SmackDown, but what's important to put on that show. Don't get me wrong. Danhausen is a big part of SmackDown. I get it, understand it. That's the direction they want to go in. I don't need to see the Miz laying on the floor because he got electrocuted. I don't need to see Danhausen do a spearmint 615. I don't need to see that no more. And I'm the type of guy, and I like comedy stuff.
I like comedy stuff too. Danhausen is great, but I hope they didn't sign him to a multi-year deal. And I'm sure they did. They probably got him for at least 3 years. I guarantee he's probably got 3 or 4 years right up front, which would put him, I think he's like 35 or 36 now. So that would put him like right around 40. But he's not a good wrestler. And when you have a character, R-Truth has lasted so long because he can go in the ring. Like, the dude can wrestle his ass off. Danhausen cannot.
That's the thing.
In the backstage segments, they're going to run dry at some point. He's still new. It's still kind of trendy. At some point, people aren't going to care anymore. They're not going to be buying the T-shirts.
I don't need to see Danhausen in the wrestling ring. I don't need to see him wrestle at all. He doesn't need to be wrestling at all. What he does is fine.
But
I'm not saying I need to see it all the time on SmackDown. But what I'm saying is that they dedicated almost 3 segments to Danhausen.
Well, they're trying to get their money's worth. That's the whole thing. You're saying you don't need to see him wrestle. Totally get that. Totally agree. But they're looking at it as, we got to get our money's worth out of this guy. We're paying this guy X. And he didn't sign a small contract. I know that.
Oh, no, he didn't. That's dumb. That's
dumb. They're looking at it as, we got to get our money out of this guy. So, and again, as you know, we've talked about it on the show, I'm big on segments. Every segment that you take for one specific person is a segment you're taking away from somebody else that needs to build. So he got 3 segments. That's too many. Or that's give him one segment, just like R-Truth typically would get. Sometimes Truth would get 3 or 4, but they would be quick, like 15-second interactions. You got Carmelo Hayes on your roster. You've got Ilya on your roster. Guys aren't getting screen time because it's all going to Danhausen.
Yeah. I say it again, man, and you said it. I'm okay with having one segment. If it's going to be like 5 to 15 minutes, fine. I'm cool with it. But when you get him multiple segments, like you said, it's taken away from guys who need that segment to build up. I mean, the Ricky Starks and the Carmelo Hayes match, we couldn't use the segment right there to promote it.
Well, that wasn't yesterday or 2 days ago. Wasn't that the first show that was at 2 hours again, or was that last week?
I think it was this past week.
So right there, you've already lost an hour of your show, and then you dedicate. I wasn't paying attention to how long the Danhausen segments were, so let's say 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You're already down an hour and 15 minutes on that show for other potential talent. Yeah, and at the end of the day, if you have a wrestling show that doesn't have wrestling, people will stop watching. So it's great that Danhausen is funny. It's great that he has his little skits and stuff. But the wrestling is what gets people to watch.
Yeah. I mean, we already know that he comes out during the commercial break. He shoots off his shirts. The fans love him. That's great. You can be wrong. I love having a guy Danhausen in my company. But like you said, when you're a 2-hour show, a lot of these guys need those segments to build up their match or build up their story, what's going on. So like a guy like Ilya, who we haven't seen in a minute, probably going to use that segment to get reacquainted.
At this point, I hope they just release his ass. So he would be an immediate TNA or AEW immediately.
Because they ain't doing no.
And I'm not saying that because Ilya's like my second favorite wrestler next to Andrade right now. Not counting if we're just going by men's and women's, he would be my second favorite men's wrestler. I want to see him wrestle, so I need him to get released, like as soon as possible. And I mean that with all due respect. I need you to go somewhere where I can actually watch you wrestle.
Yep. Then there's the Chad Gable, which I am happy about that he is back. They put him on SmackDown.
He's not staying on SmackDown.
The good thing
he's going to go to Raw and feud with Penta. Penta's going to need
Maybe.
something to do after losing the title.
Yeah. Here's
That
the
whole
thing I
segment
did
last
like.
night was stupid.
This is what I did like about that. Number one, they made him a face, and actually he became a face after the match when he lost to with Kaiser. He became a face. I don't have a problem with him on SmackDown because it kind of makes sense where you need some more wrestlers, you need more guys on SmackDown. But then I think about what Jeff Jarrett said: build yourself up, stack everything you did, and get ready to go to somewhere else to shine. He ain't say those exact words, but that's what he meant.
What did we talk about in the last show? Chad Gable to AEW. With what you
I'm
just did, you
interested.
showed that you can put on one of the best matches in the history of wrestling. You can get over with fans with one microphone segment. You've got everything that's needed. The only thing that holds Chad Gable back is that he's like 5'7". I'm taller
Yes,
than Chad Gable.
yes. Well, yeah, about the same height, but yeah.
I'm taller than Chad Gable. I'm 5'8.5". Thank you very much.
All right, but
Um,
it's this is good. I'm interested in seeing. For one, this is wishful thinking. They had to keep his momentum going. That's wishful thinking. I would love to see him to do that. Number two, I want to see how they're going to use them on SmackDown. Is he going to go fight Trick Williams offhand, or is he going to go have a good match with Ray Phoenix, or is he going to be in the main event scene because he should be in the main event scene by now, or is he? Or I think this is not going to do anything with them until they bring the Creed brothers back on SmackDown.
you
I
saw
mean,
exactly what they're going to do. You had him come back. Chad Gable is probably at the hottest he's ever been in his entire career, especially within the WWE. Just wrestled one of the best matches of all time. That's not just me saying that. Blah blah blah. That whole spiel.
yeah,
You didn't have plans for this guy to get in King of the Ring. You didn't have plans for this guy to. Hey, WWE loves to divert their plans at the last second. Take somebody else out of it. Put Chad Gable in at the last second. Make up an injury. Make up anything that you want to insert Chad Gable in it. Have Chad Gable win. Now you've forced him into the main event. It makes sense because he won the tournament. And then let some magic happen. But they won't do that because they're too scared that Chad Gable is going to outshine whoever he's in the ring with. That's his biggest problem, is that he is actually too good. There's nobody besides a Brock Lesnar that can wrestle at that level that Chad Gable can go to. If Kurt Angle was still capable and willing to wrestle, sure. But there's nobody that's going to be at that level in the
but they
main
shouldn't
event
have to
scene.
worry about that
Who's the
because I
best
mean,
wrestler in the main event scene right now? Actual wrestler. You'd have to say it's Cody Rhodes.
yes, and they shouldn't have to worry about Chad Gable outshining anybody because, I mean, he's been doing that. But the end result, they make at the end result he loses. So
Exactly. What was it, two summers ago when they basically said Chad Gable is going to get the Intercontinental title? They were pushing him and making all the promos about he's never won one, doing all that. And then you get right up to it, and he loses.
and they gave it to Sammy,
Yeah. Of all people, you give it to Sami Zayn.
and he ended up attacking Sammy. He became a heel for a short time. Then he came.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he came with the El Grande Americano character, which, in a way, I'm happy that he's not wearing a mask yet. I feel bad for him because that was his character that was created for him, and because he got hurt, he loses it, and now this is just me thinking here. While he's on the main roster doing his thing, the character that was created for him is eventually going to be the AAA World Heavyweight Champion.
Just think of it this way: Chad Gable is Drew Bledsoe, Ludwig Kaiser is Tom Brady.
Always a bridesmaid.
That Patriots team was built for Drew Bledsoe. Bledsoe gets hurt. Tom Brady, it's a wrap.
Yep. He got a Super Bowl.
Chad loses the mask. Hey, you're back to Chad Gable, so you're not special anymore. You're just Chad Gable. You can go back to, what was he, Shorty McG or Shorty G or something?
Yeah, the man want to be Shorty G.
I wasn't watching wrestling at that point. I just heard it referenced a few times, so
yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and actually look at some of that.
Yeah. this is just a fan of me talking. I hope they change their perspective on Chad Gable. I hope they give him an opportunity. I hope we give him a chance. But at the same time, I just don't see it. And
Triple
look,
H is a size queen. He wants them 6'5", 260, 240 maybe if they're jacked. Chad Gable's jacked to all hell, but he's 5'7".
listen, we talking about a guy who's 5'7" who gave Gunther a run for his money.
Mm-hmm. I don't care how tall they are. Like, Chad Gable's strong enough to throw those guys around. He's got the talent to do it. He can make the matches look good, but they're not going to do anything with him
That
unless
is so sad.
bring back a light heavyweight title like I keep asking for. He would dominate that division.
It's so sad that the one guy who I actually honestly feel should be in the main event scene is the guy who's always going to be the guy who's going to prepare the other wrestlers to be in the main event scene, and he won't ever get the credit he deserves.
He's Jake Roberts from the 80s.
Jake
Roberts
Roberts
never held
wasn't
the
even the
title.
bridesmaid. He was just step kid, just like, hey, we're gonna step on you, just get up here. But you're gonna make us look good.
Jake Roberts was weird because he never had to have a title, but he was still always looked at as a main eventer. So like you had to go through Jake Roberts to get to Hogan.
Right, but Chad Gable needs being the main event scene, and maybe he win the title just to solidify that he's a main eventer. It sounds stupid because he should be in the main event scene regardless. Because look at the guys in the main event scene. The only guy in the main event scene he hasn't wrestled is Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, and I think Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. But if you put him in the ring with those guys, he might, like you said, he will out wrestle them. He can legit beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing we keep forgetting, he will make them look good in the ring.
And that's why I think a Chad Gable Cody would work a lot better. Because Roman doesn't do a single wrestling move. Like he doesn't do it like an actual wrestling move at all. It's punches, kicks, Superman punch, spear. Like dude doesn't even do a Samoan drop.
Not anymore.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Not anymore. Like his current move set, he's just evolved into just punch, kick, spear, Superman punch, and the occasional front face lock chokehold.
But punch is a wrestling move, is it?
I mean, that's basically standard move.
Technically, it's a wrestling move.
Okay, he doesn't even do a suplex. Just a standard generic suplex. He doesn't. He's not even like in the realm of a Roman Reigns move. A suplex is never going to be there.
No, of course not. It should be part of his repertoire, but it's not.
Cody and Chad Gable would put on the best match out of the people you just named.
I think Gunther, Chad, and Dragunov will be a great three-way dance.
I mean, if we're adding Gunther, I was talking about just out of the two champs right now, but yeah, Gunther and Chad Gable would be great.
Yeah, he had that match.
Dragunov, I would love
that match on a higher level.
But talking too much about Chad Gable is going to be kind of a waste because, again, he's one that I fully believe would probably be gone by this time next year.
And also on this show, I forgot to tell my co-host that I actually put out an APP out on Drew McIntyre. He needs to come back. So ASAP, please.
Drew McIntyre.
Let's get to MLW because they did something that was very interesting, and I actually enjoyed it. It's one of those matches I haven't seen in a long time. It was the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson, Lou Gallows. And yes, they are still wrestling. And yes, they're still viable. And yes, they can still go. Now, if you put these guys in an hour match, no. Against the Skyscrapers, who consist of Baron Corbin and Dijak. It was a table elimination match in which if one of the tag teams, if one of the guys go to the table, and since it's a tag team match, if one of these tag team partners go to the table, they've been eliminated. They can't interfere. They can't get back involved with nothing. They're just done. So it was very interesting. It was a very good tag team match. It's one of those tag team matches that could go either way. It's one of those tag team matches that was exciting. And guess what, Jamie? For the right purpose, we got blood. Luke Gallows' whole face and bald head and back of his neck was all bloody and red.
You are very sensitive about when blood is used in a wrestling match. I
Yeah,
appreciate
because
it.
it has been used right. You can't just have blood all the time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But it was a good match. The Good Brothers put on a good match. Y'all remember them, the tag team that looked at old in WWE that really got some wrestling time. They were just AJ Styles or Finn Balor's backup that really never got no tag team time, never got no wrestling time. Yeah, those guys. Yeah, those guys looked good last night in their match. Baron Corbin looked it real good in that match. Dijak, who the WWE just they didn't give opportunity to, just gave up on before he came to the main roster. He looked
What are you
good
talking
in
about?
that match
He
last.
got to lead his own faction that they forced down everybody's throats that had no direction at all.
Yeah, in NXT.
Oh no, Retribution. Dijak
It
was
was Retribution.
the leader until Mustafa Ali showed up.
Yeah, and how long did that last?
That's like back when I started watching wrestling again. I was like, oh, what's going on with this? This is kind of interesting. And I'm like, oh, it's Mustafa
Yeah,
Ali. Never
yeah,
mind.
yeah, yeah. That lasts every bit what? 30 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good concept and it was working until your big plan was, and I like Mustafa Ali, but to have him lead the faction when you have a guy that's like 3 times his size that could just fold him up and throw him away
Yeah,
in Dijak, like,
yeah. Like I said, it lasts all but 30 seconds.
yeah.
He looked it real good last night in this match. It was it was refreshing to see a tag team match of that caliber being spotlight on MLW and one of their was their Fusion PLE pay-per-view Fusion whatever you want to call it.
And Shotzi won too, didn't she?
Yes, she won the women's championship.
Yeah.
It was that match was good. That
Shotzi's great.
show last night was pretty damn good. Shout out to MLW put on a hell of a good show last night. It kind of makes you wonder, WWE, that tag team match, those rules, you might want to start incorporating those again. Because I forgot, you're the ones who started it.
WWE watches a lot of MLW. I can promise you that. Where do you think they got Jacob Fatu from?
But that don't count, man. Half of the damn family was in MLW.
It's true,
So it was just a
but
matter of time till they
they
start coming
they
to the
pay a
game.
lot of attention to MLW,
Of course they did.
and I'm guaranteeing as they start losing talent, they're going to be reaching out to Dijak to get him back.
I mean, a rumor has it. I mean, Baron Corbin is coming back, and Danhausen can't get this experiment right, or he did got it right. He just made
Well,
not
they're
ready to
yeah,
show
they're
it.
waiting for him to finish up all of his dates that he already had booked.
Listen, if they're gonna do this right, just bring back Dijak, bring this guy in. Him and Baron Corbin is a tag team. They're killing it in MLW. Why you just let them carry that momentum in MLW? Bring
I'm
both
just
guys
wondering if they got
together.
somebody's permission to use the name Skyscrapers, and the fact that Dijak's a big dude, but he's not Sid Vicious or Dan Spivey big. Like that was the original. Like, did you guys call Teddy Long and like get Teddy Long's permission, Dan Spivey's permission? I mean, Sid's gone, but like I don't know how you just start using another tag team's name.
Baron Corbin is 6'8",
Is he that
and
tall?
huh?
He is that tall?
He's 6'8".
He never seemed like he was that tall in the ring. Dijak's a big dude. I know that.
Dijak is 6'7".
Corbin's taller than Dijak?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Still, both those guys are still considerably shorter than Spivey and Psycho Sid.
I don't think nothing gonna get better than the original Skyscrapers. Then
They had
Sick.
Teddy Long as their manager.
And dance party. Yes, they did.
I'm dating myself really hard now.
That was the old school Teddy Long. Teddy Long before he got to the WWE. He said,
Yes.
hey, not that Teddy Long. You thought Teddy Long who cut heel promos. You
Yes.
talking about Teddy Long who made his promos believable.
Yeah.
When he was a manager.
Teddy Long was good.
/ referee.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he was a ref.
God, I'm showing my age. No, but it makes more sense if you bring both guys in instead of one guy. Seriously. Especially, what these guys are doing in MLW as a tag team, they're killing it. Just imagine you had these guys coming to WWE and you trying to fix your tag team division.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You've got two solid tag teams right there, and you're supposedly trying to fix your tag team division. But from what I read about that, they're looking at a bunch of their newcomers and just pairing them together. So we're going to get a bunch of pretty deadlies and stuff like that put together is what's going to happen.
Oh, my tag team partner just left the room, by the way.
Yay!
She left the room. My tag team partner, oh, she's coming back. She's coming back.
Mine's with the baby right now.
She said, "Hey, Jamie, tagging me."
Hey, mine is with the baby right now.
No, but I know they say they want to focus on internally improving their tag team division, and that's understandable. But internally, you have nobody.
Exactly.
Internally, you have nobody. But it makes more sense if you're gonna bring in Barricone, bring in Dijak. These guys are killing it on MLW. I said that 3 times already, and I mean it. And don't forget, next week you can watch Killer Cross versus Jamie's other favorite wrestler, who I refuse to say his name because I don't like the guy personally. Matt Riddle.
Why do you think I like Matt Riddle?
I don't know, man. I just had to
I don't like Matt Riddle at all.
I'm not a Riddle fan. Listen, let me rephrase that. I don't know the guy personally, but I'm not a fan of Matt Riddle. As far as wrestling, I'm not a fan.
I'm not either.
I kind of felt that he had an opportunity and he dropped the ball. Mm-hmm. But he's killing it on the independent scene as well.
When he shows up to his booked events, you mean?
When he shows up. But I kind of felt when he's in the WWE, he dropped the ball. He had an opportunity to rewrite his story, change what people think about him, and he didn't do anything like that. So,
well, he just did everything he could to piss everybody he could off. He pissed off Brock Lesnar, he pissed off Seth Rollins, pissed off Becky Lynch. It's like he went out of his way to start beefs with people.
Yeah. And the simple fact that, one of his best matches was actually against Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how they convinced Seth Rollins to let Riddle go over that last match. But it was for some reason they was very high on Riddle. They wanted to put the title on him. They wanted to make him a world champion. But
they love whoever can sell T-shirts for him. They love whoever can sell T-shirts for him because
it just
from a margin point, it's like their highest profit item. It costs them 30 cents to make, and they sell them for $40 to $60.
Yeah. I have a thing where if they want to push you to the top, and all you have to do is just keep your nose clean, stay out of trouble, continue to do the things that you've been doing that made them happy. And if you just get out your own way, you're fine. If you continue to block yourself from your blessings, that's a pet peeve.
Are you saying that Matt Riddle is the white Antonio Brown?
No.
That's what it sounds like you're saying to me. That's what I hear.
No. Antonio Brown. We don't got no time. So we don't got no time. I just put it like this. Matt Riddle is one of two. I'm just not going to say the other person's name, but he's one of two. But just know, you can't do crack and you can't do drugs and think you can be successful. The only person that ever did that was Lawrence Taylor. And he only did it.
I mean, New Jack was pretty successful as a professional wrestler.
Right. He did it because he can and to piss off Bill Parcells. And you know what? It worked. It worked.
Just remember,
Lawrence Taylor. It doesn't work in professional wrestling.
Just remember, from Antonio Brown, he didn't say it, but it's a meme of him. Every day is a half day if you just leave.
The lasting image of Antonio Brown for me was when he decided to take off his he decided to take off his football gear and run to the locker room like he's a happy guy, hyping the crowd up. My guy, you just quit and you trying to hype the crowd up? You walked out on the only guy who gave you a job.
Right?
Yep.
I was living in Florida when that happened, by the way. So I can remember what the news and all the sports things were like down there.
I was just living. But yeah, I'm not Antonio Brown. Who, by the way, never mind. We don't have no time. So 4 days ago, I sent Jamie this list of WCW top 10 wrestlers of all time. And on that list, let me pull it up because it's very controversial to some people. To me, it's debatable. So the best wrestlers of all time in WCW are listed as follows. Number 10, Lord Steven Regal. Number 9, Arn Anderson. Number 8, Ultimo Dragon. Number 7, Eddie Guerrero. Number 6, Booker T. Number 5, Rey Mysterio. Number 4, Dean Malenko. Number 3, Ricky Dragon Steamboat. Number 2, Ric Flair. Number 1, Sting. Honorable mention, Diamond Dallas Page, Les Luger, Scott Steiner, and Vader. Now, Jamie made some points. I'm gonna let him tell everybody his points are. But that's your top 10 of WCW wrestlers of all time and your 4 honorable mention. Now, there's a lot of guys missing off that list. Whoever made that list, stay off Matt Riddle's drugs.
First off, I'm not a fan of all-time lists unless you give criteria of what you're judging. When you just say these are the greatest wrestlers in WCW's history history wasn't that long. It's not like we're talking about a 40-year history. If you're talking WCCW, then yeah, you can add a few more years to it. But WCW wasn't that long. It was like 13 years, roughly, total time. From like 88 to like 2001, something like that. But either way, Arn Anderson to be on that list is an absolute joke. Anybody that thinks that Arn Anderson was a good wrestler is out of their mind. He's known because he had a good spine buster. He made the spine buster look good. Arn Anderson was a fine wrestler. He wasn't a top 10. He wasn't a top 50 WCW wrestler. Plus, he barely wrestled in WCW because he was basically retired at that point. The first couple of years of WCW, yes. But especially the mid to the second half of WCW, he never wrestled. Scott Steiner being an honorable mention would automatically replace Arn Anderson. And you realistically would have to put Scott Steiner at the top of that list because for years, Scott Steiner was considered one of the best, if not the best wrestler in the world.
Now, before you continue, we got to correct something here. WCW was run as a national promotion 12 years.
Yeah.
But they've been around a little longer than that.
Yeah, as a regional promotion. I'm strictly talking as a national promotion.
National, yeah, it is around for 12 years.
Look at me, pretty spot on.
You said 13.
I said like 13, 14. Pretty spot on.
You ain't say 12, guy. Okay, you know what? I'll give it to you.
What would have been your guess? Now that you know the number, you can obviously fudge it. But what would your guess been?
Mine,
Yeah.
I don't have to include the regionals. I was gonna say like 20.
Oh, please.
Because I would include the regional. That's
And the regional was WCCW, which I also made mention of before I said the number. So
yeah. Okay, whatever. Keep going.
See,
You
World
was
Class
right.
Championship
You was
Wrestling.
right. You was right.
Either way, Arn Anderson would 100% have to come off that list, and Scott Steiner would automatically have to go on. Where you want to put Scott Steiner, if we're talking Scott Steiner early 90s, he's number one on the list. If you're talking the second half of the 90s, you could put him in the middle to back half, and I'd be okay with it. But for years, Scott Steiner was considered one of the absolute best wrestlers in the entire world. So for him to be an honorable mention is a joke.
No, well, here's my thing. My problem with the whole list is that whoever created this All-Time, how you forget about Barry Windham? How you forget about the Great Muta?
But Muta was more of a Japanese wrestler. He showed up to do the NWO stuff and a little bit before that, but that was about it.
But still, he was part of the company. How you forget about Dusty Rhodes?
Ugh. I'm not a Dusty Rhodes fan.
I know you're not Dusty Rhodes, but how you forget about Brian Pillman?
Pillman would definitely deserve to be on the list.
Chris
but again,
Jericho,
and that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people. I hadn't even got to finish going through who I would go through. I mean,
Chris Benoit. I know everybody hates him. He's not on that list.
And that's my problem with the list. If you're saying overall these are your best personalities, Dean Malenko does not belong on that list. Dean Malenko is known as the man that doesn't have a personality. So if we're saying all things considered of what makes a pro wrestler, Dean Malenko is off that list immediately.
100%.
Arn Anderson is off that list immediately.
Tully Blanchard.
Arn Anderson can't talk either.
Tully Blanchard is not on that list, but still, he doesn't have a personality like that. But still, he's not even on that list.
And that's why I'm assuming that they're strictly talking in ring. If you're talking in ring, Sting is not in the top 10. Sting would be all time, 1 or 2. If you're saying best in WCW all around performer, Sting would be 1 or 2 with Ric Flair, like he is on that list. But if you're saying strictly just in ring work, Sting doesn't belong on the list. Arn Anderson wouldn't be on the list. I'm trying to do it from memory of just what you said. Ultimo Dragon's body of work in WCW wasn't big enough, so you could replace him with Jericho immediately. Chris Benoit would have to make the list. At that point, I'd say it's okay. Canyon would definitely deserve to be on the list. Canyon was one of the best wrestlers they had, period. Mortis, call him whatever you want.
Mr. Gunther would have to be on that list. Because he split time between WCW.
He did, but he's more known as a WWF guy. So if you didn't put him on the list, I'd be okay, but he would definitely have to be on a WWF list. But no, that's what I mean. If you don't give me the criteria that you use to make a list, then it doesn't make any sense. Because again, you're saying the best wrestler of all time, top 10, and you have Scott Steiner as an honorable mention, DDP as an honorable mention. If we're talking crowd reaction, DDP would be number 1 next to Sting, or he'd be number 2 next to Sting, then maybe Ric Flair.
I mean, Rey Mysterio Jr. was in WCW before he came to the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Juventud Guerrero, La Parca.
I mean, super crazy. S.A. Rios.
I miss.
I mean, people forget WCW was so big on lucha wrestling that the first hour of Nitro for a period of time was strictly dedicated to luchador wrestling.
Brian Adams.
Brian Adams.
I'm just naming names, man. I'm just naming names.
Brian Adams was a terrible wrestler.
Marcus Bagwell was there.
Bagwell was a much better wrestler than he got credit for.
Scott Bigelow was there.
Yeah, that's Bam Bam.
Yeah, let me see if I can let me find some of
Love Bam
that
Bam
for
Bigelow, by
y'all.
the way.
Jerry Flynn was there.
Hmm.
Um,
Jerry Flynn and Jerry Lynn are not the same guy. Jerry Flynn is only known because he has the record of most losses to Goldberg. He's the dude that had like black pants with the red stripe that went up the sides and the terrible mullet.
one of Jamie's favorites, Violent J, was in the house.
That's right. ICP.
Um, let's see who else I could say here. No, no, that was a retard. Sorry for me saying that. Christopher Daniels was in WCW.
Yeah.
Um, James Storm was in WCW,
Hmm.
but he was an enhanced talent.
Wrestles for
Um,
JCW now too.
yes, he is. No, 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 no. Lance Storm,
Yeah.
Sid Vicious, um, Fatu,
Hmm.
the Samoan Savage. Who's that guy? Ming was there.
Who's that
Who's the
guy?
guy
Ming.
that? Yeah, Dr. Dale Steve Williams
Yeah.
was there. Fit Finley was in WCW. Everybody's favorite, Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, was in WCW. In fact, that's where he
Vader.
got his name.
Vader.
Terry Funk.
Hmm.
Not gonna say Disco Inferno.
Why does everybody hate on Glenn Gilberti?
Who? Disco Inferno?
Yeah, it's his name, Glenn Gilberti. He's
Yeah,
got a podcast with somebody. I know he
he
always
got a
says things that
podcast
rubs people the wrong way.
with Conan.
Yeah, Conan.
It's
I know
good. I like.
he got Cody Rhodes all upset about something.
Yeah, I like Disco Inferno. He's all right with me, man.
I don't have a problem with Disco Inferno. I find him funny. And for getting stuck with such a terrible gimmick, the dude made it work for years.
He did. Kamala Scott Hall. Well, Scott Hall was there the first time as Diamond Stud before
Yeah,
he
he was
came to
managed by
WWE.
DDP.
Owen Hart got his start over there. Um, Look, I can go on the Warrior, Kurt Hennig, Shane Helms. I mean, the Ice Train.
Oh, Ice Train was great when he debuted. That dude was solid.
Jamie, other guy, Vampiro,
Hmm. Love Vampiro.
Stevie Ray, Johnny the Bull.
Johnny the Bull was good. That's Big Vito. He's in JCW too. He's like the like kind of like the president, general manager guy, storyline wise.
Mm-hmm. Gorgeous George.
Oh God, I love George. George. I think that's my favorite valet of all time, and that
Ivan
says a lot
Kolo.
because I love Don Marie from ECW. But Gorgeous George, I think, has got to be the one.
Hey, Ivan Koloff. I mean, look,
Ivan Koloff was good.
The Road Warriors. I mean, we're gonna stop right there because the next one was Paul Levesque. But yeah, I mean, it's so many guys who's been in WCW, and you narrow down to those guys that's your top 10. I'm gonna need that top 10 be redone.
And that's why I think that they were strictly talking as a rest in ring like technician. But again, Sting wouldn't be on that list. Ric Flair at that point, he would be on an honorable mention, but like Flair wasn't wrestling his best matches in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. How can I
Like
forget
Dean Malenko could certainly be on that list, but Jericho would have to be on that list. Benoit would have to be on that list. Scott
yeah.
Steiner would have to be on the list. Like
Shane Douglas would have been on that
I
list?
love Shane Douglas.
And I can't forget about the ladies, Medusa,
Yeah.
Jacqueline, James, J.J. Dillon, Ricky Morton, Dick Murdoch. Come on, man. Do better with the list. Do better with this list. But everybody out there, if you want to put out your top 10 WCW wrestlers of all time, please do so.
But make sure you put what the criteria is.
Yes,
Can't
please.
judge a list
Yes,
if you don't know what the criteria is.
yes, please. Well, that'll be it for us today. Um, Raw is happening tomorrow. Make sure you watch that. I'm going to catch up with some Collision. I'm going to watch that tonight. And make sure everybody watch MLW Cross versus Riddle next Saturday. It should be an excellent match. Cross is the champion. Riddle is the challenger. And they did a little story package. This was the last Friday or Saturday. So make sure you check that out. It's on YouTube. Actually, their pay-per-view is the Fusion. It's going to be on YouTube. So make sure you guys check that out. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share our content. And you can watch me tomorrow as I break down game 1, game 2, the NBA Finals between the Knicks and the Spurs, and get everybody prepared for game 3 and what's going to be a zoo, a chaos. As Old Dirty Bastard would say in one of his songs, the Brooklyn Zoo is going to be, the garden is going to be rocking, and it's going to be talking. It's a shame that we won't be there because you know your boy loves some good basketball. But make sure you watch the NBA Finals tomorrow. And also, Father's Day the 21st. Make sure you guys watch KDKWB Radio for Father's Day. Jamie will be watching because Jamie going to be responding to the Father's Day questions that I want to put out there, and which I will put it out there tomorrow or tonight. A question for all fathers, even for new fathers. So I'm going to put that out there tonight. And guys, thank you for watching us. Jamie, any last words?
No. I now have to prepare to answer questions that I was not aware of.
Yes. Look, it's Father's Day. Well, I'm sorry. It's Father's Day is June 21st. The month of June is for fathers. It's not Flag Day. It's for fathers. And I'm doing a show with 3 other people who I'm close with. And the other men who I'm very close with, Jamie, other people in my family, friends. I'm proposing this question to all of you guys, which I will put out there tonight, but comment respond tonight or any other time you want. But also watch the Father's Day show because it's not about me. It's about all of us. It's about you guys. It's about the new fathers. It's about the old fathers. It's about learning something as fathers. So make sure you tune in 3 o'clock, June 21st on Father's Day to watch the show. So with that said, everybody, thank you for tuning in and watching. Catch me and Jamie on Tuesday, where we'll talk about Raw, what you liked about it, disliked about it, and tell you guys what I thought about Collision. So you guys be cool, be smooth. Peace.
Later.